From our studios in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, this is Retirement News Online. And whether you're nearing retirement or already living in it, one concern rises above the rest. It's called financial security. Anxiety about running out of money in retirement is higher today than for any previous generation. According to a recent Morningstar study, nearly 45% of retirees risk depleting their savings during retirement. Joining me is John Pullaro in Myersville, Maryland. John, welcome back. We're talking about people running out of money in retirement. So, why do you think that this is such a big problem? Obviously that, I think a lot of people, have this idea. Used to be the marketing was, what's your retirement number? We're trying to get to this number, right? The problem was, how do we turn that into income that doesn't run out as long as you live? So where do you think the disconnect is?
People are scared about running out of money. We spend most of our lives at work building our 401ks, accumulating money, doing a great job of that. And then when you stop working, you're going to go onto a fixed income. It's a set dollar amount. It's hard to have a pay raise. Every time you get a pay raise in Social Security, it's eaten up with a Medicare cost of increase. So people know they're on a flat income for the rest of their lives. And if that nest egg runs out that they're pulling from, two things can happen. Your payment could be reduced and eventually can run to zero. Mm-hmm. People remember the crash of the last two crashes, 2001 and 2008, where their portfolios were cut in half. And if you were one of the unlucky ones that retired during that period of time, you were probably one of the ones that did actually run out of money. If you retired in a boom like the 1980s or even currently that we're going through, you probably won't run out of money. So it's tough to sit and talk to 500 clients and say half of you are going to run out of money and the other half are going to be successful, and it's just based on your timing of when you pulled the plug on your work. So that leads a lot of fear. They're very concerned about that topic.
And you're talking about sequence of returns risk,
yes.
Which is really all about timing. It's depending on what the market is doing when you start taking income. If it's going backwards, that does drastically potentially inhibit your likelihood. And the other thing is, as long as people living, so you've got people in retirement 20, 30, 40 years,
right,
where we have to get to a point where I think, we look at protecting what we've worked so hard to build, but we still have to keep our foot on the gas pedal and get growth. How do you de-risk a portfolio and still provide growth? There are some solutions around that, aren't there?
Yes, there are. We can minimize that risk with diversification. We can buy things like gold and silver and commodities. We can buy bonds. We can buy annuities that have protection. In fact, our parents and grandparents mostly had pensions, and that pension was an annuity that was purchased by that employer on your behalf, and it gave you a guaranteed income stream. A lot of people say they don't like annuities today, but not one of them would turn in their pension if they had the choice to swap it for a lump sum.
And it's the same thing.
It's the same exact thing. One is done by a company and the other is done by an individual. So those are some of the ways that we can minimize that risk because we've seen that 30-40% of the people will run out of money, and let's let that insurance company take that risk on for us.
Mm-hmm. Would you say it's accurate that most people don't actually have a written income plan? It seems like you probably run into this a lot where it's just this drawer full of statements where they're essentially kind of retirement income hoping and not planning. What do you do there?
Absolutely, Scott. We bump into clients all the time that have 12 different IRAs, 3 different banks, 2 different annuities, 5 different advisors. So that phrase, don't put all your eggs in one basket, we believe in that wholeheartedly. But you don't need to have 5 advisors and 12 IRAs. You can have one IRA and still be diversified. You can have one advisor that knows where your assets are. I've got people that forget about accounts and don't even know they're there. So we recommend a consolidation phase that can be coordinated also in one strategy. Because imagine if an advisor at company B has a different plan than I do. They might be opposing views that actually contradict the end goal. And going back to that financial plan, not a lot of people will go into that financial planning process. The financial plan gives the client a roadmap. It's still our best guess, but we're factoring in longevity. We're factoring in hypothetical rates of return. We're factoring in a potential of a market crash. We're factoring in a potential 30-year retirement if you live into your 90s. Those are much harder to solve for. Our grandparents and parents might have had a 10-year retirement. Today, a 30-year retirement is common. It's actually normal. So we want to make sure your money lasts as long as you do.
That's not negotiable, right, isn't it, right? John, thank you so much. John Pullaro in Myersville, Maryland. This is Retirement News Online. You can find more at retirementnewsonline.com. Thank you for watching.